We have breaking news right now. Our Elise Labott just finished an interview with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and they talked about Libya. Elise joins me. She's on the phone from Lima, Peru, where she's with the Secretary of State right now. And Elise, what did she say?
Well, Erin, this is really, she gave a set of interviews to network reporters, really the first time speaking in depth about the attack on the U.S. post in Benghazi, where Ambassador Stevens and those 3 other Americans were killed. And, you know, she said the buck stops with her. You know, there has been a lot over the last couple of days and weeks about who takes responsibility. You heard Vice President Biden in the debate say, hey, we didn't know. And when I asked Secretary Clinton whether, you know, the White House was throwing the State Department under the bus, she said, listen, this is my State Department. I take responsibility. Security for the U.S. diplomatic post is a State Department function, and the Vice President and the President didn't know. Kind of distancing, I think, the State Department from the White House in this election season. Erin, she also said that, you know, she didn't want to play any kind of blame game or political gotcha. She understands that the election is coming up, and obviously everyone wants to politicize this, but she said that, you know, 4 Americans died, need to make sure that it doesn't happen again, and need to make sure that the U.S. is still engaged diplomatically. And so she wants to wait for an investigation before she talks about whether there was, you know, good intelligence or bad intelligence or security decisions. But she did say, Erin, the buck stops with her.
All right, the buck stops with her. And Elise, I guess the question would be, some people will say, look, is she sort of falling on the sword? I mean, the White House has made it very clear it was intelligence. It was the State Department. I mean, she's obviously being consistent with that from everything you heard her say.
I don't think so. I think that it's true. You know, obviously that the White House would know about threats in Benghazi, but those individual security decisions are really a State Department of function, and that's basically what she was saying. The responsibility for protecting the embassies does lie with her, but also she said, yeah, we need to work with Congress to make sure that we're getting the appropriate funding. We need to, you know, the whole U.S. government has to work together to make sure that diplomats are getting what they need. You know, Erin, everyone talks about how the military need to have more resources for the troops, but we've seen a lot of budget cuts over the last couple of years for State Department funding. And so I think she's saying, listen, we'll see where the intelligence comes out and what happened that night. But I don't think she's trying to throw the White House under the bus, kind of like the White House was last week for the State Department.
All right. Well, thanks very much to Elise Labott. You just heard it here first. Elise Labott reporting. She talked to Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who said the buck stops with her. We asked that question on Friday. Where does it stop? The State Department or the White House? Well, the Secretary of State, at least tonight, trying to make the argument that it should stop with her and go no further.